I'd bet the house on Ilya. His grappling, offensively, it's very good. If like you shoot it on this guy's legs and you make a mistake and you're the one going for the takedown, he has a very good chance that he might put you.
I believe he's capable of beating Islam. Just what I've seen, and personally too, just like hand speed and the tricks and the way he plays with his striking game. I believe he's definitely capable of catching Islam. And if he catches anybody, I believe he can knock them out.
If he beat me, he's gonna be on the same level as Islam. He gotta beat like someone like me, who can wrestle.
Yeah.
He just had easy fights on his career, He beat legit fighters, but not on their prime. If he met Volkanovski 4 years ago, Volkanovski just eat him.
MMA pros have shared their final insights on the potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. Arnold Allen said he'd like to see Islam Makhachev face Ilia Topuria, but understands why Islam might avoid it, as he wants to fight proven contenders and build a stronger legacy after dealing with short-notice opponents. He added that beating Ilia would be a big statement for Islam.
I'd like to see him fight Islam. But I mean, I understand why Islam wouldn't want it, right? He wants to fight legit contenders, and he's had like featherweights, ex-featherweights, late notice guys, replacements. He wants to sort of solidify his title reign, but probably is no bigger fight than Ilia, right? If he goes and batters Ilia, it looks pretty good.
As for a prediction, Allen admitted he's been wrong before when doubting fighters, so he won't count Ilia out. Still, he believes Islam would win, though it wouldn't be an easy fight.
I don't know. Every time I've ruled him out, he proves me wrong, so I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, like I say, I think Islam wins and he gets ironed out, but yeah.
Michael Bisping suggested Khabib Nurmagomedov may be cautious about Islam Makhachev fighting Ilia Topuria due to criticism over smaller opponents. Still, he sees Ilia as the best option. If not, Bisping believes Islam should face the Jack Della Maddalena versus Belal Muhammad winner, though a Belal fight is unlikely due to training history. If Jack wins, Bisping says Islam should move up and take the fight.
Now, Khabib Nurmagomedov doesn't want Islam to fight Ilia. The narrative is like, oh, he's beating up smaller guys. I think the fight to make is Ilia Topuria. If that doesn't happen, Islam sticks to his guns. If he was to say, no, I want to fight the winner of Jack Della Maddalena versus Belal Muhammad, because he is such a great champion, because he has taken short notice fights, because he's the most successful lightweight on planet Earth in the history of the sport, there ain't going to be any crazy talks of stripping Islam Makhachev. That just isn't going to happen. I don't think Islam's scared of anybody. He wants to move up to 170 though, take on the winner of Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Maybe that's what he's waiting for. Of course, if it is Belal, he ain't going to fight Belal Muhammad. They've been training partners before. Khabib Nurmagomedov has been very strict, so they aren't going to fight. But if it's Jack Della Maddalena, then 100% Islam Makhachev has earned the right to move up to 170 pounds.
Arman Tsarukyan said Ilia Topuria must face a strong wrestler like him to prove he belongs at Islam Makhachev's level. He argued Ilya's past opponents weren't in their prime and claimed a younger Volkanovski would have easily beaten him.
If he beat me, he's gonna be on the same level as Islam. He gotta beat like someone like me, who can wrestle.
Yeah.
He just had easy fights on his career, He beat legit fighters, but not on their prime. If he met Volkanovski 4 years ago, Volkanovski just eat him.
Jan Błaszkiewicz said the fight would be very entertaining to watch, but believes Islam Makhachev is in his prime right now and unstoppable. He added that he expects Islam to remain dominant for a few more years.
Right, it's gonna be a very good fight for watch. But I think Islam is like, right now he got his prime time, and nobody will stop him. Couple more years, I think so.
Meanwhile, Belal Muhammad criticized Ilia Topuria for calling for a title shot at lightweight without proving himself in the division. He said Ilia should face names like Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, or even Paddy Pimblett first. Belal warned that if Ilia jumps the line and loses, Islam's win will be downplayed, just as it was when he beat the smaller Alexander Volkanovski.
I think he needs to earn it. I think he needs to fight either Oliveira or Justin or even Patty right now to show the fans that, all right, he is a lightweight. Because you're going to look at it and then you're going to see how much bigger Islam than is him. And then there are people are going to say the same thing that Islam, what happened when Islam beat Volkanovski. Oh, well, you just beat a 45er. That's all you did. He's smaller. Look at his title reign. It was a 45er, another 45er. But Volkanovski at the time was #1 pound for pound.
Michael Chandler also discussed the matchup, pointing out the size gap between the two, with Islam being the bigger lightweight. He praised Islam's grappling but gave Topuria the edge in striking. Chandler said if Ilya can stay on his feet, he has a shot, though Islam's experience and well-rounded skill set make him the likely favorite.
If Islam fights Ilya, I mean, I think there's definitely a size difference. I think Ilya is a lot smaller than Islam. Islam is a big lightweight, a tall lightweight, and he's good in every area. However, Ilya's definitely got the edge in the striking department, and Ilya is very, very, very patient. Now, if he's able to not get taken down and he's able to just patiently break down Islam with those big shots that he lands, the big punches that he lands, it's going to be a good night for Ilya. But I think if Islam gets his hands on him and gets him taken down, I mean, grappling with 145-pounders is a lot different than grappling with Islam, who is one of the best grapplers that we've seen in a very long time. He's strong. He's great at doing damage and getting good positions. I'd have to give the edge to Islam just by size, by strength of schedule thus far and defending the belt, but I wouldn't count Ilya out.
Mateusz Gamrot called the matchup interesting, but doubted Topuria's chances due to the size difference. He said competing with someone like Islam requires equal strength and physicality, and Topuria might struggle because of that. Gamrot believes Islam's all-around dominance could be too much for the smaller challenger.
For me, interesting fight, but but I don't know. Topuria is small guy. Islam is really big guy, and I don't think that Topuria has changed against him, you know. Like, if you wanna fight with Islam, you have to be like big guy, like similar like him, because he's good everywhere. But if your body is smaller than him, so you don't have change for sure.
Jorge Masvidal voiced strong confidence in Ilia Topuria's grappling, saying he'd bet everything on him. He highlighted Ilya's aggressive style and strong takedown defense, noting that any mistake by an opponent could quickly turn into a disadvantage, with Ilya reversing the position and taking control.
I'd bet the house on Ilya. His grappling, offensively, it's very good. If like you shoot in on this guy's legs and you make a mistake and you're the one going for the takedown, he has a very good chance that he might put you.
Bo Nickel considers Islam Makhachev the top pound-for-pound fighter right now, but sees Ilia Topuria as a real threat. He referenced Volkanovski's wrestling success in their first fight, suggesting Topuria might have the tools to match Islam's grappling and test his all-around game.
I think he's the pound-for-pound #1 right now, and I think he can win. And what makes me think that Ilya will do really well against Islam is that Volk's first fight with Islam, I'm like, man, Ilya's wrestling is way better than Volk's, and obviously you could see how the striking went.
Jamahal Hill showed strong belief in Ilia Topuria's chances against Islam Makhachev, pointing to Ilya's speed, creative striking, and knockout power. He emphasized that if Ilya lands clean, he can finish anyone, even fighters from heavier divisions.
I believe he's capable of beating Islam. Just what I've seen, and personally too, just like hand speed, and the tricks and the way he plays with his striking game. I believe he's definitely capable of catching Islam. And if he catches anybody, I believe he can knock them out. You know what I mean? I believe his power might even carry. Not saying that his size and things like that, he can move up to like those higher weight classes, but if he catches it, the way he hits, if somebody even in a bigger weight class get like that, he can put them on wobble street.
Colby Covington believes Ilia Topuria has the tools to upset Islam Makhachev. He pointed to Islam's close fight with Volkanovski, where many thought Volk won, as proof that Makhachev isn't unbeatable. Covington also noted Islam didn't look dominant in his last fight against Dustin Poirier, which makes this matchup even more intriguing.
You know, I think, I don't know, I think Topuria might upset him. I think he has the ability to upset him. That first Makhachev-Volkanovski fight was really close. A lot of people thought that Volkanovski won that fight. So, you know, I think the blueprint is out there for Makhachev. And I didn't think he looked that good in the last fight versus Dustin. I mean, he looked beatable. He didn't look like invincible. So, you know, I think that'll be an interesting fight. Who do you got in that one?
He added that the key will be whether Islam can keep Topuria on the ground or if Topuria can slip out and stay standing. Since Topuria has been taken down before, Covington is curious to see how he handles Makhachev's wrestling pressure.
Yeah, I think that'll be the key to the fight. Can Makhachev get him to the ground, or is Topuria slippery enough to get away? Because he did get taken down in a couple of his fights.
Javier Mendez believes that a fight between Islam Makhachev and Justin Gaethje would unfold differently because of Islam's more well-rounded skill set, especially in striking. Mendez highlighted Islam's ability to blend striking with submissions, making him a versatile fighter.
It definitely, in my opinion, would play out differently because they're not the same fighter. They're not the same fighter. Islam is more well-rounded than Khabib ever was, So Islam is at the point where he's pound for pound number one because he's well-rounded in all the areas. Khabib was not as well-rounded as Islam is in the striking. His attributes was the ground and the submission and how he can smother you and just make you feel like you're trapped and you can never get out. Islam doesn't have that type of game. He's got a different type of game. His game is incredible. It's submission level based more than anything. And as you've seen it with all his submissions, it's different. It's different. They're not the same fight at all. It's an entirely different fight.
He also pointed out that Islam can exchange punches when necessary, but also has the ability to take opponents down, showing his adaptability in the cage. While Islam has strong wrestling, Mendez noted that MMA wrestling is a unique skill, which makes Islam an even more dangerous opponent for Gaethje.
In Islam, he can do it all. He can stand with him. He can take him down. He can do anything, and before anybody starts thinking about, he's the Division I wrestler, this and that, but hey, he was a Division I wrestler that was wrestling with Jordan Burroughs, and that didn't help him with Khabib. So trust me, when you're talking MMA, there's a difference between just wrestling and MMA wrestling. Khabib was the master, second to none in MMA wrestling. In Islam, I'm going to say is a close second. But they're different. But he's a close second when it comes to MMA wrestling.
Chase Hooper expressed that he was really impressed with Islam Makhachev's most recent performance, particularly his striking. He pointed out that unlike Khabib, who was primarily known for his grappling, Islam and other new Dagestani fighters, like Omar, are much more well-rounded in their skills. Hooper acknowledged that this makes them difficult opponents for everyone else in the division, but he still believes Islam will come out on top in his fights.
Honestly, I was really impressed. Islam's last time out, I felt like his striking was really improving. So I think that's, especially when you look back at, Khabib's fights, he's much more of a pure grappler. And then you see Islam and you see Umar and these newer generation Dagestani guys. I think they're a lot more well-rounded, which sucks for everybody else in the division. But I don't know. I think Islam still takes it.
Demetrius Johnson broke down the matchup by highlighting Islam Makhachev's southpaw stance, predicting he'll use body kicks, movement, and feints to manage distance. He also noted that Islam could rely on his judo to take the fight to the ground and hunt for a submission.
What do you reckon he'll do? What do you reckon Islam, if you're Islam, do you just go in, try to figure out a way to get that, get to the ground or get him up against the fence?
Well, Islam's a southpaw, so he's gonna probably throw body kicks to keep his arms busy, keep a distance, move, feint, maybe use some judo to take him down and try to get him to the ground and try to submit him. But once again, I have to see. I have to see what Islam does to JDM.
Johnson added that Ilia Topuria is most dangerous once he finds his range. Even if it takes time, Ilia will find a way to get there. The key question, according to Johnson, is whether Islam can avoid that danger zone or chooses to engage in it.
I know the one thing that's the factor is that Ilia is always going to focus on getting to the right spot and find his opponents. When he gets there, he's going to unload. If Ilia can't get there, then he's going to figure out another way to get there. So the question is, how does everybody avoid that sweet spot against Ilia? That's the question, because Ilia is going to fight in a 25-minute fight. That's what it comes down to. And then you go from hey, how does Islam keep Ilia away from that spot, or does Islam meet him there? Right? There's so much that goes into it, and my brain is all over the place. So for me to give a clear-cut answer, I'm just I'm running around in circles.
Benail Dariush said he favors Islam Makhachev in a fight against Ilia Topuria due to his size, control of distance, and smart use of kicks and takedowns. He believes that style would give Ilia problems, though he admitted he wouldn't be surprised if Ilia scored a knockout.
I think it would still go the same. I think, Islam has such a big size advantage, and if he, distance kicks, takedown, rinse and repeat, if he continues to mix those things up, I think it would be a difficult fight for Ilia. But, from what I saw, it wouldn't surprise me if he was able to put Makhachev's lights out too.
Corey Sandhagen, on the other hand, picked Ilia to win. He said Ilia's frame would make takedowns difficult for Islam, and in a striking battle, Ilia is far more dangerous. Sandhagen also praised Ilia's defense, saying he doesn't think Islam could do much damage.
I honestly think Ilia would win that fight.
Let me get your breakdown of that fight.
I'm gonna actually go against, I think, what most people say, and I honestly think Ilia would win that fight. I think his stature is gonna be hard to take down for Islam, and I think if those two are standing, I just think that Ilia is a way dangerous guy standing, and I just can't really see Islam hurting him because his guard is real good, and I think Ilia will win that one.
Arman Tsarukyan said if Islam Makhachev had fought Ilia Topuria, UFC 317, it would have ended in a knockout. He made it clear that Islam is on another level, though his main focus is surpassing everyone, including Islam, and becoming the #1 fighter in the world.
What do you think would have happened if Ilia fought Islam this weekend?
Islam Makhachev.
He would have beaten him?
By TKO.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh, I mean, that's a different level of fighters.
You think so? Wow.
You can't compare Ilia versus Islam.
Really? I have Ilia #1 pound for pound now.
Yes, because Islam not champion anymore right now.
Right.
But when he gets the second title, he's gonna be pound for pound #1.
So you think he beats Jack?
He beats Jack.
Yeah.
Became a pound for pound #1. I'll be pound for pound #2 champion lightweight division, and then beat Islam and became a pound for pound #1.
Wow, I love it. You have it all mapped out.
Joe Rogan voiced support for Ilia Topuria getting a lightweight title shot, saying he's clearly earned it. He highlighted Topuria's knockout wins over top fighters like Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski as proof he deserves the opportunity. Rogan believes Ilia has proven himself and is ready to compete at 155.
Because you have a world champion versus a world champion. Like, if anybody deserves a fight for the world title in the next weight class, it's you. It's simple. It's simple. You knocked out Max Holloway. I mean, it's simple. You knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, one of the greatest of all time. It's simple. That's a no-brainer. That's the fight. He doesn't want to fight 45 anymore. He wants to fight 55. World title shot.
Eddie Cha praised Ilia Topuria's potential, highlighting his sharp striking, distance control, and solid grappling from his time in Brave. While impressed with Ilia's rapid development, Cha expressed concern about the size gap and how he'll handle grappling with a bigger opponent. In the end, he leans toward Islam Makhachev in the matchup.
Yeah, people probably think I'm crazy, but I think Ilia can get it done.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. His distance game. I mean, if you've seen him when he was like 6 or 7-0 at Brave before the UFC, he would just take guys down and just grapple. I think that was his biggest strength. That's why I'm so impressed with that guy, because for him to be as good in striking in a short amount of time, understanding the game and how he runs his offense, it's phenomenal. So size factor is my biggest concern, and I think the grappling, we'll see what happens, but I like Ilia on that one.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their potential matchup? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos on the screen right now.